This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, the last horse race has been held at Dunedin's Forbury Park Raceway, with many people sharing memories. The Fiji rugby team has touched down in Dunedin ahead of Saturday's test, which should be good for the city's economy. And there's one All Black who was a phone call away from playing for his country of birth before choosing to play for the All Blacks. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Forbury Park Raceway in Dunedin saw horses racing under lights for the final time last night. The track has been shut down, with the 111-year-old trotting club now looking for a new home.
Horses thundered around Dunedin's Forbury Park Raceway for the last time on Thursday night, with Trotting Club chairman Craig Padden sorry to see the facility, which first featured night racing under lights in 1960, now being shut down.
It's certainly sad. It's a wee bit like a funeral for a friend, but having said that, this place was set up by people before us, and the job for the board going forward is to find a new home and a new legacy for future generations.
A number of the track's former race commentators, such as Jason Tees, were invited back to call a few races on the 9-race card.
It's a sad day, to be fair. This place is iconic. It's been around for over 100 years, and I am very privileged to be here to be a part of it, though. I get to call a couple of races just for old time's sake, so I'm looking forward to giving this place the send-off it deserves.
Recently retired Roxburgh-based horse trainer Jeff Knight was philosophical about witnessing the end of one of the premier racing venues in the South Island.
Well, this track was one of the first sand tracks that went down in the South Island. I think it might have been the second. It's a beautiful surface, always has been, and this is a very historic night, and a lot of people have turned out here tonight just to come along because it's the last night. We were fortunate enough to train 100 winners exactly here and had a lot of good memories, and it's a shame that the place is going. 118 years of history, but at the end of the day it will always be history, and no one will ever take that away.
While several other all-weather harness racing tracks are within a couple of hours' drive from Dunedin, Padden says the club is hoping to find a new home closer to town.
There are tenant clubs that race at other venues. At the moment, that's not the wish of the current membership or board. We'd like to keep the sale proceeds from this venue in the Dunedin city area if we can, so our focus is very much on retaining the harness presence in the city.
Forbury's 1,000-metre track was first set up in 1909, with saddle races being held here as far back as 1870. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Passengers were thrown out of a hot air balloon after it was hit by a gust of wind, causing it to collide with power lines next to a house as it was landing near Queenstown. Emergency services met at a rural property near Queenstown mid-morning, responding to a call about a balloon crash.
So we're called to a hot air balloon incident that has crashed into the ground and been dragged through into power lines at a house. A total of 11 patients. 2 of those patients are status 2, so it's quite serious, and the remainder of those patients are a mixture of status 4 and status 3. The scene was spread over quite a distance, which is always difficult to deal with. However, we managed to mobilise our patients reasonably quickly. 2 were flown by helicopter to Dunedin, and the remainder have been transported with our road-based ambulance service through to Lakes Hospital in Queenstown.
The balloon landed on Philip Bunn's property, and although he wasn't there at the time, he says he feels sorry for the people on board. Dunedin is swinging into rugby party mode as international test match rugby returns to the south for the first time since COVID-19 shut down major events. All Blacks captain Aaron Smith hosted the captain's run today, while last night the Fijian team received a warm welcome.
Members of the Fiji rugby team were presented with welcoming garlands by members of Otago's Fijian community after arriving in Dunedin last night. And following a traditional kapa haka welcome from tangata whenua, the team responded in kind. International Test Match Rugby generally attracts visitors from out of the city for the event, which Enterprise Dunedin CEO John Christie says is always good for the local economy.
Oh look, it's great to be able to host people back in the city. Obviously a test match is something that we're all welcoming, not just as a city but as a country. And Dunedin's really looking forward to being able to host those that are coming to watch the All Blacks play Fiji.
By about midday Friday, there were only a handful of George Street businesses with any sort of a nod to the weekend's game. John Christie says the more people come to Dunedin for events like this, the better it is for the local economy. All Blacks captain Aaron Smith is looking forward to some fast-flowing rugby on Saturday.
And this is just something that's just very special. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I just want to play really well, do it justice, and try and enhance that what we started last week.
Speaking at Friday's captain's run, the newly minted All Blacks captain is looking forward to playing Fiji in dry conditions under the roof at Forsyth Bar.
I feel great now. I'm super excited about getting out there tomorrow night and under the roof against a really tough Fijian team.
The match between the All Blacks and Fiji is set to kick off just after 7 p.m. Saturday night. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And following on from that, in a parallel universe, Sevu Reece could have been playing for Fiji against the All Blacks this weekend. Actually, he could have been doing that in Dunedin on Saturday had he not decided to wait a little longer.
Fiji-born 24-year-old All Blacks winger Sevu Reece isn't kidding when he says he could have been playing for his country of origin.
Jeeps, I knew that question was going to come. But yeah, obviously, proud Fijian. Even me personally, it's going to be almost a dream come true. If I get the opportunity to play on Saturday and to play against some very close mates of mine that I grew up playing with.
Reece was born and raised in Fiji, but moved to New Zealand in 2014, making his playing debut for Waikato in 2016, and was then called into the Crusaders squad as cover in late 2018. In Canterbury rugby circles, he's known for his support of grassroots rugby.
Yes, 100%. That's what I try and do every day. Is just try and inspire kids out there, Fijian kids out there that want to play for the All Blacks or even for Fiji. That you can achieve anything. You just got to put the hard work and it will come.
Although he's set to run onto the pitch at Forsyth Bar for the All Blacks, he says he was exceptionally close to playing for his country of birth, following a phone call from Fiji's head coach before the last World Cup.
Yeah, so he gave me a call. I was going to catch up with him, but yeah, we're just texting. And to be fair, I was actually probably about this close to playing for Fiji. Because the talent we've got here in New Zealand is just crazy.
Sevu Reece grew up wanting to play rugby for Fiji, although he says watching the likes of fellow Fijians Joe Rokokoko and Sitiveni Sivavatu play rugby for New Zealand was inspiring as well. He says turning down Fiji was an incredibly tough decision. Sevu Reece is due to take the field for the All Blacks against his home country at Dunedin's Forsyth Bar Stadium this Saturday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The controversial proposal for a new Dunedin landfill has hit another obstacle, as the city's two councils square off over whether different sites need to be considered. The Otago Regional Council has rejected the Dunedin City Council's claim it does not need to reassess the location of its proposed landfill in the hills behind Brighton Beach. The ORC put the DCC's consent application on hold last year and has now issued a second request for information it says is lacking. However, the DCC says it's not legally required to reassess alternative sites. Still to come on the South Today. Wanaka's Mount Aspiring College is undergoing a well-deserved makeover, and we have this week's edition of Rugby Chat with Paul Dwyer. So catch this and more after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Be sure to tune into Football Chat every week, where we chat about local football fixtures, results and everything else that's happening in the local game.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Welcome back. Wanaka's Mount Aspiring College is undergoing a significant amount of work. Officials from the Ministry of Education, as well as the region's mayor, have visited the site to check on progress.
Ministry of Education officials Scott Evans and David Patterson, plus Queenstown Lakes Mayor Jim Bolt, got a tour of the extensions being built to Mount Aspiring College in Wanaka.
I've been really impressed with Natal Love early stage of the enabling site, now pouring the footings for the block at stage one. So we're really excited about how the progress is going today.
The extension to the school is costing over $30 million, and Queenstown Lakes Mayor Jim Bolt says it illustrates the population increase in the area.
Schools are one of our most important assets, of course, because that's where our young people get their education. Indicative of just the growth of the Upper Clutha, that this school needs to be extended. I'm very much looking forward to being back here to see further progress in a couple of months' time.
It's hoped the project will be completed by 2023.
Amazing progress being made here every day, and within 12 months we're going to see the first of our students in these brand new buildings. It's been a long time coming, but we hope it'll be well worth waiting for, and as a board we're very excited about this development.
The visit is part of a tour inspecting school building projects in Wanaka and Arrowtown. In Wanaka, the South Today.
In this edition of Rugby Chat, Rugby aficionado Paul Dwyer analyses this upcoming weekend's Premier Rugby playoffs.
Welcome to ODT Rugby Chat, brought to you by Garrett Orr, my old mate Gerard Orr across there in Kaikoura Valley, going by a garage door of him. As you can see, I'm on my own. I've possibly scared everybody away, but no, what I'm going to do, most of the Rugby Chat this week is actually coming. I've promised to go to South Otago and do a game, so I'm going down there to look at a game on Saturday. It's Clutha Valley taking on Heriot, which will decide places in their top 4. Clutha Valley unbeaten, Heriot sitting 3rd or 4th, and it'll just about positions for their semi-final starting next week. So looking forward to that. But I thought I needed to talk about, there's a couple of things we need to talk about. Obviously the games in town this weekend. And there's a lot of positions still up for grabs. There's only 2 teams confirmed in the top 6 in town, and they are Green Island and Tyree. And the other teams that are still fighting for spots are Kike, Southern, AU, Varsity, Harbour and Dunedin. So, and any one of those teams could go out. So in the games this weekend, Zingaree up against Kaikorai. Zingaree really struggling for a team, but I'm hearing they're going to front on Saturday. That should mean that Kaikoura will get 5 points and they'll go through and qualify. And I can't see Kaikoura getting beaten. Southern versus AU. AU are out, but if Southern win this game, they are definitely in the top 6. AU got a couple of players back this week, and Liam Coltman and Jonah Nariki, I hear, is also back. That'll even up the odds. Alhambra Union slightly stronger side, so I'm tipping AU might upset Southern. GI versus Varsity. If Varsity don't get any points out of this game, they're currently sitting on 21 with Dunedin. But if they get no points from this game, they could go out because Dunedin beat them in the round robin competition. So they need at least a point. Green Island lost last week, but we predicted that with some of their leading players out. Those leading players will be back in this week, and we're talking Dylan now, we're talking Whiskey Ascot, and we're talking Renew, all back in. So I'm predicting, and they want to win the Speight's Challenge Shield, which is still on the line. So I think they'll win that game. Don't know whether they'll win 13 plus, but they'll definitely win. Not sure if Varsity get the bonus point. And in the last game, Tyree, as we know, are already in. They are playing Harbour out at the Eel Pit in Mosgiel. Hard to know again, but I'm tipping Tyree had a massive win. They beat the Kaikorai boys by 40 last week. And we will talk to you again next week when we're talking about the top 6.
And you can watch the full Rugby Chat online at odt.co.nz. Still to come on the South today. Record aluminium prices could have a positive flow-on effect for the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter. And we take a look at the weather for the start of the school holidays. So see you after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Thanks for staying with us. Analysts from Forsyth Barr say record aluminium prices may prompt Rio Tinto to restart its fourth potline at the Tiwai Point aluminium smelter. Rio Tinto closed potline 4 a year ago as part of a plan to cope with COVID-19 restrictions. Since then, global aluminium prices have almost doubled and the smelter may return to full capacity in little over a month. Increasingly, analysts are predicting that Rio Tinto will keep the smelter open beyond 2024. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. The last horse race has been held at Dunedin's Forbury Park Raceway, with many people sharing memories. The Fiji rugby team has touched down in Dunedin ahead of Saturday's test, which should be good for the city's economy. And there's one All Black who was a phone call away from playing for his country of birth before choosing to play for the All Blacks. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, taking a bright sun over North Dunedin. Looking at the situation, another day of very cold southwesterly airflow over the region tomorrow, with showers and strong winds about the coast. Clearing weather on Sunday though, with winds easing and sunshine increasing, but temperatures will remain cold with heavy frost for many on Sunday night. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, this region will see a mostly grey, cloudy day with 11 degrees for both Greymouth and Westport. To the northeast, it's a mixed day for this region with a mostly sunny day in Nelson and 11 degrees, while Blenheim will see scattered showers with 11 degrees also. Moving to Canterbury, it's a sunny winter's day for most here with 9 degrees in Kaikoura, Christchurch and Ashburton. Christchurch will see some partial cloud throughout the day. Moving to the southern towns, wrap up and brace yourself with strong southwesterlies, showers and 5 degrees for the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore. Moving to Central, moderate southwesterlies and fine conditions for most areas with 5 degrees in Wanaka and Tiana, 4 degrees for Queenstown. Alexandra is slightly higher with 6 degrees. And in Tiana, winds will tend to become fresh and umbrellas will be required for showers. To the northern towns, along the coast, expect moderate southwesterlies with a risk of showers and 9 degrees in Timaru. Oamaru can expect fresh southwesterlies, a few showers and 8 degrees. Moving inland, Twizel and Marama can expect moderate southwesterlies, mostly fine conditions. Twizel sees a high of 7 and Marama 6. And in Dunedin, showers and strong southwesterlies tonight with a low of 3. It's mostly cloudy tomorrow with showers in the afternoon and strong gusty, very cold southwesterlies. Some sleet about the hills, so wrap up warm and drive to the conditions. A high of 7 and a low of 4. Showers clearing on Sunday but remaining cloudy and very cold with gusty southwesterlies decreasing. A high of 8 and a low of 3. And in Invercargill, cloudy with a few showers tonight and a low of 3. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with periods of sleety showers, but also some dry periods with brief sunny spells. It's very cold with strong gusty southwesterlies. A high of 7 and a low of 4. Make sure you dress for the wind chill factor. Fine with sunny periods increasing during the day on Sunday, and again very cold southwesterlies will ease. A high of 9 and a bone chilling low of -2. That's all from the South Today team for this Friday, and in fact the week. With today being the start of the school holidays, take care on the roads. And if you're travelling away this weekend, remember to drive to the conditions. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and check out Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.